In terms of chemistry, he just made it, it kind of couldn't have been easier. It also helps that, you know, he's kind of cute.
That was awesome.
What makes you think How to Train Your Dragon needs to be seen on IMAX?
Because you can see Nico Parker's face.
When you say real dragons, I mean, they were built dragons, but let's not say they were proper fire-breathing live dragons. I don't want to start any false rumors, you know, I mean...
Hilil! Ada yang terang, tapi bukan lampu. Ada yang merah, tapi bukan api. Itu loh, tombol subscribe. Buruan ya, subscribe YouTube channel Cinema21 sekarang juga.
Hi, my name is Nandra. I represent Cinema21, the largest cinema chain in Indonesia. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nandra.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, before I start, I would like to introduce you to my little friend here.
Oh no.
That's
It's
great.
very viral in Indonesia, so I just have to get one.
That's amazing.
Okay, so this is your return to the first How to Train Your Dragon after more than a decade.
Yes.
What was the first moment that made you say like, okay, I have to do this in like a live action?
The moment for me was when Universal contacted me and said they were thinking of doing a live action version. And I thought, if someone's going to do it, I want to be the one. Because I know the story, I know the characters, I know the heart, and I wanted to make sure that that was protected as it was translated into a new medium.
Okay, so you've been with the How to Train Your Dragon since the very beginning. What was your first reaction when Dean called and said, okay, we're doing it again, but live action next time?
I was excited because I was always sad when it felt like it was all over, because I've enjoyed telling these stories and playing this character. But I had also always felt like, what would it be like to not just be the voice, but to actually wear that costume, to step into that world. So when he said we were making the live action and then said, come and have a look. So when I went and had a look and saw the world that was being built and saw the dragons that they designed and where they were going to fly and all of that, I went, oh my God. It was one of the most fun days I had as an actor, with my eyes being open to the world that we were going to show the world.
Mason and Nico, did you both grow up with How to Train Your Dragon, and what did you do after you received the call? Did you get the part?
I just paced around the house for hours. I didn't know what to do with myself. You know, as a kid, you watch the movies and you can imagine yourself as those characters, but never in a million years could I have thought I would be Hiccup.
My dad used to read me the book. The fact that I'm now actually in it was crazy. I mean, when they called me, I couldn't really believe what was happening. And as I was explaining the call to my parents, I just started to cry because I was so excited. And I'd kind of been holding it in. And then as I started saying it, and then they asked me who it.
What was it about Mason and Nico that made you say like they are the perfect Hiccup and Astrid for you?
Well, the casting process was kind of a process of elimination. Casting director had brought forward many wonderful young actors for both Hiccup and Astrid. We whittled it down by putting them together in combinations. Ultimately, it's just whoever had the best chemistry, and I think that both Nico and Mason embody the spirit of their characters perfectly. So they made the decision for us.
The chemistry-wise, I mean, from our chemistry read, I remember saying to Lucy Bevan, she kind of walked me out, he's amazing. And she was like, you think so? And I was like, yeah, he's really wonderful. I want him to get the part more than I want to get the part. And I really want to get the part. And she was like, good to know, good to know. And, you know, that was only a 20-minute chemistry read. The way that Mason kind of embodies Hiccup is really something that you kind of can't teach to anyone, and you can't tell someone how to do it. It's incredibly instinctual and natural. In terms of chemistry, he just made it, it kind of couldn't have been easier. It also helps that, you know, he's kind of cute.
I'm blushing. So that was the nicest thing I think anyone's ever said about me. That was awesome. I'm pointing that.
The animated trilogy is very dear to many Indonesian fans. How do you think this version will hit differently to the audience as seeing it for the first time?
Well, my hope is that we're able to deliver on all of those aspects that fans of the animated films have come to embrace. But I also hope that it sheds some new light, goes a little deeper into mythology, and expands on characters that were perhaps treated with a lighter touch and less character depth in that first animated film.
So I also heard that there were like real dragon on set, right? What was your first reaction when you first confront the real Toothless dragon?
When you say real dragons, I mean, they were built dragons, but let's not say they were proper fire-breathing live dragons. I don't want to start any false rumors, you know, I mean, But yeah, we built the dragons and we had puppeteers. So often in these movies, actors performing to a tennis ball or nothing at all or a stick. The difference it made to have a Toothless in front of you that was moving and acting like a live creature, it made a huge difference. It's allowed to be so much more alive and engaging and compelling.
So, Toothless has always been a favorite, right? Can you share anything fun about bringing him in this live action with puppetry and new visual effects?
We had to find very subtle ways of adding more credibility to his body and his muscles and his scales. And we studied a lot of the movement and behavior of large cats, lions and tigers, panthers, and tried to incorporate as much realism from the natural world into the performance of Toothless. And when it came to flying, we had to build a giant gimbal that would allow a robotic version of the dragon to move as we needed it to. We also employed a puppeteer who would sometimes operate a foam head or body of the dragon to be a scene partner, and that allowed them to not only have somewhere to look, but someone to play off of.
As you mentioned, there's so many epic visual scene moments in the movie, right? Was there any one moments that made you think like, okay, this is really good?
It was moment after moment after moment where I'm like, wow. Hiccup's flights, especially his first couple of flights on Toothless, it's like being behind a Formula One car. It's not just that it's well done, it's so artistically perceived. I've never seen anything like that before.
Okay, as you can see in my background, the movie will be screened on IMAX in Indonesia. What makes you think How to Train Your Dragon needs to be seen on IMAX?
Because you can see Nico Parker's face.
Be up my actual nostrils if you go and sit front row in IMAX.
When you're watching an IMAX, the bigger the screen, the better the sound system. It just kind of encapsulates you into the whole experience.
I feel like this movie it really transports you into this world, and seeing in IMAX is, the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to the people in Indonesia that can't wait to see the movie?
Oh, we hope that you love the movie, and we would love it if you saw it in IMAX.
What she said.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Asik kan videonya? Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan komen ya. Sampai bertemu di video selanjutnya.